One more like that. Bend your knees, chair. And forward, fold. Long spine, step or hop, Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward dog or cobra, and downward facing dog. Right leg high, right knee to nose this time. Pause, heels of hands to back foot, magnetize to center. And then place your foot for warrior one, back foot on an angle. Round up, low back, mid back, upper back into warrior one. Find your arm position. Take a breath. You're the conduit between heaven and earth. Find the spaciousness. You're the mediator. Forwards, back, side to side. Open into warrior two. Make your back foot a little wider. Take your hands behind you, interlock your fingers, reach up through your collarbones, and then exhale and bow over the inside of your right leg. Keep your arms reaching higher, keep your armpits moving wider. Keep your back foot grounded. Take a halfway lift here, and then forward fold again. See if your head can come a little closer to the earth. Come up halfway again, strong back inner leg, fingertips to the floor. We're gonna turn to a Skandasana towards the left wide edge of our mat, sinking into our right heel. So you can come up onto your heel, you can lower down, and I'm gonna give you some options there. You might be using your hands, but you could also take your hands together. Use your right elbow to push your right knee wider to the side. Now, if you like, you can take your hands to the floor, and then as you sort of go into a push-up, catch the inside of your right knee and widen it with your elbow out to the side, and then come back up. If you'd like a little twist here, turn to look at your long left leg. You might start with that, or bind your hands around your right leg and look towards your long left leg. Okay, we're gonna Skandasana towards our left leg now, but in the middle, if you like, fingertips to the floor, make a big circle to take you over to the other side. Little creature-like. So up on your toes or down on your heel, you can use your hands, you can take your hands to prayer. Ease that left knee wide with your left elbow if you like. So move like you, find those places of resistance and ease and explore them. Feeling safe in your body. You might take your hands to the floor, elbow presses out as you find a little push-up, a little resistance. Okay, now we're gonna circle over to our front leg. Circle till we get over to our front leg. Crawl into the shape of a lunge. Back up to a high lunge, back heel lifted. Take a long breath in, twist, left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Hands can come in prayer. See if you can keep the left side of your pelvis lifted, the right side of your spine long. You might come a little lower and take your left hand to the floor and your right arm up in a T shape in your upper arms. You might bind your hands underneath your right leg. Finding a few breaths. If it's possible, you could, with the bind, start to shift into your right leg, stay in your big toe mound, and let your left leg reach up. And then ground it back. Unwind, come into your high crescent, and all the way through a three-legged chaturanga, right leg lifted, through upward dog, and downward facing dog. Left leg high and back behind you. Left knee to nose this time, magnetize to center. Heels of the hands towards the back foot. Left heel towards your glute. And then foot forwards, back foot on an angle. Come on up, rounding up to warrior one. So find your position just right for you. Be the conduit between heavens and earth, long through your spine. open up to a warrior two. Widen your back foot. Take your hands behind you, interlock the weird way, opposite index finger knuckle on top. Open your chest, forward fold over the inside of your left leg. Breath in. Breath out. Come into like a halfway lift there, and then come back down. Head to the floor. Let your hands release with Skandasana towards the right long edge of our mat, sinking into our left heel, maybe the left toe. Maybe the hands together, the left elbow pushing the left knee wide, being as upright as you can. You can take your hands to the floor, that little push up by easing the left knee a little wider. Improvise with this one. It's a big circle through the middle to take you to Skandasana over to the other side. Heel of your elbow can go into your inner knee. You might be playing with that. You might be playing with the push-up. You might be playing with the bind and the twist towards your long left leg. You can come through the center if you like, a big circle to crawl you towards a lunge facing the left foot, back heel lifted. Inhale, come all the way up, high lunge, twist, left elbow to the outside of the right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Hands can start in prayer shape. Long right leg, long left side, top side of your spine. If you like your arms in a T. Smooth and steady breath. If you like binding your arms underneath, you might test your balance and look up. And if it's there for you, you might be really strong in your left leg and your big toe. And with the bind, lift your back leg up. Lower it down. Unwind, let's go up through the middle one more time, high crescent. And then exhale, left leg back, three-legged chaturanga. Upward dog or cobra. Find your flow, downward facing dog. Your breath in. Your breath out. Come down onto your knees. Sit back on your tucked toes and turn your hands all the way around so that the heel of your hand points forwards. Now you can come forwards or you can sit back, adjusting where your hands are. They might be a little closer. Further away is generally more sensation. Maybe bending your elbows and sitting back on your heels and starting to peel the heel of your hand up off the floor. Come on forwards. Out of that, you can roll out your wrists. And then take the backs of your hands to the floor. You can be as forwards into your knees as much as you like. Your elbows can be a bit bent. You might start to sit back on your heels, on your tucked toes. You might start to straighten your arms. And just go to that just right amount of intensity. Flick out through every single fingernail. Drop that into the floor. Release that out, roll out through your wrists. And we're gonna come to the wall. So situate yourself so that you are against a wall and you can find out how long your leg distance is, seat up against the wall. And about where your heels are, let's put the center of our forearms down. Now you might start with pushing your inner wrist into the floor, pushing your outer elbow into the floor, and coming towards a downward facing dog with your heels up the wall with your knees bent. If this already feels pretty tight in your shoulders, maybe even a little bit bumping up against sensation of pain, you could play with taking your hands together and interlocking. Spread through your shoulder blades, and some of you might walk up the wall so that your hips come a little more on top of your shoulders and minimize the back bend as you push the ground away. Take a long breath in. Take a long breath out. And step down to the earth. Sit into a child's form or a form that works for you. And settle your head onto your hands. And we'll come on up. Now you're welcome to play with that again, maybe lifting one leg up and then the other. This time you can turn around so that you're kicking up the wall into a forearm balance with a little bit of space between you and the wall, so the wall is just there for you in case you need it. And I'm going to show you a few variations here. So as you are ready, kick up. One leg might find the wall, but then can you tiptoe it away from the wall, even if you need to switch your legs, to find your midline. Now once you're up, this might be a challenge for you to play with. Can you bend your knees and slowly bring both legs down into your chest, and then quietly down into a squat or down into a forward fold, okay? So take a breath with that, catch your breath. Beautiful. So we're going to turn around against the wall again. So you can find that same alignment where your heel is. Of course, you can play with it. It's different for different bodies, different leg sizes, different arm sizes, but about the middle of your forearm. Find that position of hands that works for you. Now, come into a position where your left forearm is down like that, but your right hand is at your left elbow, and then your elbows squeeze in. They squeeze into the center. Okay, so find that. And then you can come into a down dog with bent knees, heels up the wall, play with that. You might step up the wall like that, really loading your left arm for a breath, and then come back down. Let's switch sides. So it's right forearm long, inner wrist, outer elbow pinned. Left hand to the right elbow. Squeeze the elbows in. Feel that pectoral engagement. Wrap your shoulder blades into your armpits. And maybe a down dog there in this asymmetrical shape. Really pushing away out of your right shoulder, down through the right forearm, up through the hip. Then you might step up the wall and see how it feels on this side. Elbows in and step down. You can find a child's form or any wrist circles that might support you. Always feel free to pause the video and try some of these versions again. And roll on up. Okay, for some of you who are working with that asymmetrical shape, you might play with it, just flipping it with the wall as a support for you. So let's go left forearm down first, right hand in, and you might play with the elbow squeeze down dog here. It might work to take your right leg up. So opposite of the grounded forearm, take your right leg up and perhaps find the wall. Maybe tiptoe it away from the wall. And you could go into a wide-legged shape here, and then see if you can slowly take your legs to the floor, right? So a hanging forward fold or malasana squat. All those variations on the other side. So as you're ready, right forearm grounded, left forearm, left hand in about the level of your elbow. The pectoral squeeze, so one of my teachers says that's like you're creating a little bit of cleavage in the middle. If you have it, maybe a down dog. It's the opposite leg, so it's the left leg now to the forearm. I'm gonna come a little closer to the wall. Widen those shoulder blades, and you can Come up, and you might find that one side is a lot more challenging than the other. Keep the elbows in, use the wall if you need to. Maybe you widen and control the descent. Squat, forward fold, whatever works for you there. Okay, let's sit on our knees again and take our right hand forwards. Pull the fingers back on your right hand. Fingers down. Pull the fingers, knuckles back on your right hand. Can you slow down your exhale? Work with your arousal a little bit. Left fingers up, pull back. Fingers down, pull back.